if you've clicked on this video or tapped on the video, then you're probably here because you're thinking about a GC3 from Foresight and if you should buy one, if it's any good, do I really want one, is it too much money, like are they as good as they seem, how do I connect it, is it easy, is it accurate, what's the software like, many questions you're probably thinking. And I've just got to tell you straight away that it is awesome. As always with the golf things that I own and the videos that I try and make about it, this was a bargain. You might think that's crazy because you might already know how much these things generally cost. I do try and find ways of getting it cheaper than kind of the advertised price. Before we get into how to save you literally thousands of pounds on the GC3, I'm so sorry to ask this early into the video. I hate to be that person, but please consider hitting the subscribe button. Hit the bell notification too. That way, all the new videos and content that I've got planned and that are coming out week after week, you will not miss out on a single thing. I've got so many more videos planned, like a full review of all the different software, how to set it up, how to upgrade your PC, and by hitting that subscribe button, it just helps push the channel and enables me to keep going with my endeavors. So I really appreciate it. So I'm gonna go through, it'll be a review in terms of the features and all that sort of stuff, which you may or may not have seen in other videos as well, but always trying to offer the value. So the value here is gonna be a couple of things that I've found so far in terms of negatives, because there aren't a lot of negatives, there really aren't. Like I say, get something like this. This is about a GC3, get a GC3 if you're looking at it, 100%. There's really not much of a reason not to. And I'll also let you into kind of the way that I got it at a price that I was happy to pay for it. So they're kind of the real key takeaways from this. Lovely. Bit of bubble wrap. Useful for selling stuff on eBay. Another box with nice branded tape on it. Okay, we got low. This is some heavy duty packaging right here. Wow, just a sneak peek about what you're getting yourself into here. Nice little limited warranty for thousands of pounds worth of equipment. You only get a year on that, so that could turn a few people off to that. Never mind. And then wow, this looks absolutely amazing. Yeah, I'm scared to touch it in all honesty. It looks far too brilliant for me. This looks like it's a kind of a thing that you'd use to build a tent. It's not, it's an alignment stick. You do actually need an alignment stick with this sometimes to make sure you've got it pointing roughly in the right direction. I love tech. And we've got a USB-C cable, nice. And some kind of power adapter. Oh, okay, the rest of the power adapter, got it. Why do things not sell you, why do they not provide HD cables? They cost, you know, £5, £10 at most. They're giving you all the other cable. Why don't companies give you an HD cable? And then we've got, anyway, that's just me moaning. We've got some warnings. Case would have been nice for it, but can't have everything, can you? Up first, probably most people's biggest factor in whether or not to buy a launch monitor, and certainly a Foresight GC3, is cost. So these things retail, if you've done your research, you'll already know. A GC3 fully loaded with all of the data and all the software and everything, you're looking at about just under £10,000. Full disclosure, I have not spent £10,000 on this. The money that I have spent on this, I haven't spent anyway. I've whacked it on a credit card because I don't just have thousands of pounds lying around to whack on this kind of thing. So there is that. But you can get it cheaper, and I'll come back and circle around to it. So cost is the biggest factor. I'll be using this until it cannot any longer work. I'll probably upgrade it before that time anyway. So that's something to think about. It's not a cheap thing. So let's talk about accuracy. The accuracy on this thing is amazing. I've used them before. I've used a GC2, I've used GC Quad, I've used the GC3 before, and the accuracy is absolutely spot on. There's been loads of videos as well of people testing them against more expensive £25,000 launch monitors, and they are right up there. They're within, you know, 0.5% of all those top end £20,000 things. So the accuracy here is no question. Add to that, and that accuracy and the brilliance of it is it will take things like your local sea level that you can set. It will measure all that. It will measure the temperature and all those things, and it will give you localized data. So it's really interesting. When I used it the other night at Top Tracer, just for comparison, Top Tracer takes in all the environmental factors like wind and all that sort of stuff. Because this is closed data, look into what closed data means. It's just measuring the isolated ball on its own. So when it's giving you the spin and all of that, it's got temperature factored in, but it's just kind of that isolated ball data. When you hit at Top Tracer, it will calculate all the stuff on the screen based on the wind and everything else that might go into it. You know, using it in the net, in the garden, using it on course, using it on a driving range, in terms of what it says and accuracy on the launch direction and the height and kind of the angle of descent, all that sort of stuff. Again, it's spot on. I've been out onto the course and lasered different targets from where the ball's finished versus what it said on the screen, and it is bang on, okay? So its accuracy is not an issue. You'd expect accuracy to not be an issue for something that all in, you're looking at about £10,000. Yeah, in terms of ease of use, you'll probably be seeing these images overlaid of my garden, and you'll see that there's not loads of space. There's a fairly rickety net there, although I will say it looks worse than it is. It's very solid. It's a decent one. It's 2 nets over the top of each other for protection. But all of that aside, ease of use, what we need or what we don't need is to have to spend 10-15 minutes lining up something behind you or to the side of you and getting it all perfectly spot on, and then we can start hitting. What we want is just to plonk something down, and for me, that's one of the really good talking points and selling points of this GC3, is that, yes, software and all that amazing stuff aside, in terms of ease of use, you literally turn it on, it's on at the moment, you plonk it down next to you. So you can see, if that was my hitting area, hitting into a net that way, it sits there. It's got a blue light on there saying that it's ready now. And that's it. You hit, it pops up, it gives you some, well, if we've got anything, oh, we haven't hit today on it, so it's got no numbers on there. But it pops up and it shows you your ball speed, the launch angle of it, the spin, and the carry distance. Just a few kind of key metrics like that. You can swipe to the left and right on it because this whole thing is touchscreen. And if you've got the club data as well as the ball data, then you can look at all of the club data as well. So in terms of ease of use and just, you know, I can go in the garden and I can put it down if I've got 10-15 minutes and I just want to like dial in some numbers or have a look at numbers. If I'm at the range again, I can just pop it down. It's brilliant in terms of that. And I would say that is the main selling point it's got over laser-based units that have to sit behind. And the laser-based units, you have to calibrate a lot more. You have to kind of mess around with them a lot more. And that was one of the key things for me that kind of made me go down this path as opposed to one of the Garmin R10s or a TrackMan. Not that I would have gone TrackMan because they're way more expensive than these, but that's kind of what put me off. Linked into ease of use, but kind of moving us on to the next bit here, is software. So software is fantastic. Everyone's probably seen videos of FSX 2020 or FSX Play on people like Peter Finch, Rick Shields, and loads of other YouTubers. They use it all the time. If you go to pro shops, if you buy new clubs, places like that, golf shops, you'll see the software on the projector. So obviously you get FSX Play is their newest version. You get that. What I hadn't realised is that you also get 2 other pieces of software, and depending, although I'm trying to work this out at the minute with Foresight, depending on which version you buy of this, you also get 2 or 3 other pieces of software as well. Okay, so first of all, the main software you get, which is graphically very impressive and brilliant, is FSX Play, their current version. You also get FSX 2020. On top of that then, okay, you also get a lifetime subscription to Awesome Golf. And Awesome Golf is awesome, hence the name. I'll show it to you really quickly on my iPad. You fire it up, you type the one that you want, you tap the one that you want, FlightScope, Garmin, Rapsodo, Foresight is what I've got. It will hopefully, if you've got it on Wi-Fi, find it straight away. See, now this is one of the slight downsides to this thing. Ease of use, yes, it's brilliant. Oh, it did work. It said it wasn't going to work, but it has worked. Anyway, so the software ease of use is not as good as its general ease of use. In terms of Awesome Golf, this is Awesome Golf here on my iPad, you get the full license for that for free forever, which normally costs about £300, I think. It will work on iPad. This is the awesomeness of it. It will work on iPad. It will work on your computer. It will work on a laptop. It will work on your phone. Okay, so even if you don't have an iPad, you can use it on your phone, which is fantastic. It does connect relatively easily. You just have to make sure that you have this connected to Wi-Fi, this connected to Wi-Fi, and they have to be the same Wi-Fi, otherwise it won't work. That is the slight downside. So for me, if I'm taking this to a range or somewhere like that, this is not a dated up version. So I would have to tether this and tether that to my phone and run it through that. Then it will work. And I've tried that and it does work. It's not as smooth as you'd like it to be. Obviously, if you want to tether and you've got slightly flaky data signal or the Wi-Fi is slightly flaky, if you've already got the Wi-Fi in there, it will always go for the Wi-Fi connection first over your phone. Again, it's annoying. It's not ideal. It's not smooth as you would want it to be. Anyway, Awesome Golf is brilliant. It's just had a recent update. It's got competitions on there and games, all the usual practice kind of things. On their virtual golf, they've just done an update where over and above what they used to have, which was kind of 4 little 9-hole courses, they now also have some actual real world 18-hole courses. They've got Wentworth, which is a fantastic course in Surrey in the UK. They've got the Majlis course, the Emirates course out in Dubai, I think it is. Again, fantastic course that I will probably never play in my life. And the Blue Monster in Doral, which again, fantastic course. Probably won't ever play that one again, ever in my life. So you've got 3 courses and there's more coming, and that is all free. And you don't need an amazing computer for it. So that's fantastic, and it connects very nicely with this, generally speaking. Much better than FSX Pro, I think it's called. Where is it? FSX Pro, yeah. So FSX Pro. This is the iPad or phone version of the Play software, the 2020 software, whichever you are thinking about. And it's good, but it is very finicky connecting to this. And this is a top tip for you. If you are thinking of getting this, or you have got it and you've had problems with it, the problem, you might have had the same problem as me. The problem I found is that I was really struggling to this is the exact problem now. Like, I've launched the app and it is now unresponsive. I can't go into the performance analysis. I can't view my session history. I can't go to the connection. I can't go to settings. I can do nothing except for say goodbye to it and close it. Now, I know what the reason for that is, but it's taken me about a month of using it to figure it out. And bear in mind, I am a computer science teacher. I'm a tech person. I know how to fix things over and above just turning them off and on. That works for 95% of the time. The reason it doesn't work is because this needs to fire up and make an internet connection before that does. For some unknown reason, when this is connected, because it's paired together with this, if that is connected first to the internet, this will not connect to it. Don't know why, you'd have to ask Foresight on that. But now I know that, now I can show you what happens. So if I turn this off, this is on at the minute, device is shutting down, great. If I fire this up again, right, that's gone now. So now if I fire up Pro, okay, so now, this is where it doesn't work, but it will. So now, if I tap, there we go, now it's working. So it says disconnected. Now if I fire up the GC3, see, I can actually do stuff now. It's responsive, it works. So that was really annoying, and I've been to the range 3 or 4 times with this and this, trying to use it. And you might think, oh, you could just use Awesome Golf, and I did, but the FSX software, it's actually got some really cool features in it, like it normalizes the ball data. So if you're using short distance balls that are designed to not go very far, then you can normalize it, and it will kind of, when you hit the shot, let's just say it goes 250 yards, but you know really if you hit that shot it would go 300 yards, then it will give you the numbers based on a premium golf ball. And you can even pick certain premium golf balls. Ah, there we go. See what I mean? This, while I've been talking and tapping, it's taken a while to find this. And this is one of the downsides. It's got there eventually. Now I can go to my performance analysis. I can tap on my account that I've already created. And then it fires up. So as long as you know these things, it's fine. It actually doesn't take very long to plonk it down, connect it, get this going. I can put it down next to this. You can select loads of different data tiles, ball speed, launch angle, launch direction, etc., etc., etc. You've got your different clubs up here, the normalization I was talking about. So it's got a lot of cool features in it. You get that as well for free. So Play, which there'll be some pictures in the background of what Play looks like. And Play is good. The graphics are awesome. Like I'll go on and show you, it's graphically intense, so you need a decent computer to run it. Awesome Golf is fantastic. Awesome Golf will work for anyone. I would say the ball data on it is slightly out. At least it looks like it's slightly out, like it's slightly over calculates, I think, on carry sometimes. Not all shots, just occasionally. So the algorithm on that is not as good as FSX Play and FSX Pro, but it's good and it's free, and you've got a lot of flexibility on there. And it's also got lots of cool features where you can export the data and you can analyze it and do kind of all of that reading about it. 4 pieces of software you're getting in there. On their own, like I said, Awesome Golf is worth, I think, £350 for a lifetime membership. The Play and the 2020 software is about £2,000. So that's quite a good value that you're getting just from the software. And it's great fun, it really is. Absolutely great fun. The data, we've talked about the accuracy and we've talked about the ease of use and the software, and we've kind of alluded to some of the negatives there a little bit too. But in terms of data, I just want to make it clear. This thing measures 2 different types of data. And I'll throw a picture up here so you can see what I'm talking about. Club data and ball data are 2 different groupings here, okay? And what I hadn't realised until I started looking into this, and this is coming on to the cost a little bit when we circle back around to it, is that you don't have to get both. You can, and in an ideal world you would have both, but you don't need to do that. So on this model, I've got what's called the ball data only version, okay? And this isn't massively marketed on the US or the EU website, slightly more on the US website, I would say, but it is an option. Now, club data includes things like swing speed. It includes you can see up here, it includes the path of your swing, and they're kind of important. Certainly if you're looking more in depthly at your swing and your swing mechanics and the ball flight and all that stuff, then it does make a difference. Okay, so in terms of the data then, if we're talking about club data, which is what I've opted to not have with this, then it will measure club head speed, so that's your swing speed, how fast you're physically swinging. It will measure the ball speed as well, and then give you an efficiency rating that goes up to 1.5. That's kind of the smash factor. So it will derive that because it's already got the ball data and it's the club head data as well to give you the efficiency. And then it will look at the club path. So, if I'm supposed to be swinging straight on, that was straight on, and I'm swinging that way, then it's going to tell me that I'm swinging to the right or I'm swinging to the left if I'm hitting a big slice. And an angle of attack as well. That's how steeply you go into the ball. If you're hitting down on it or if you're hitting up on it with a driver, it'll tell you if you're hitting up on it. So that's all the club data. And that's the only 4 points of data you get with the GC3, again, which is worth bearing in mind, because if you were looking at a GC4, then you would get all of that. Plus you also get the face angle. If I'm trying to hit it square on and I've got it a bit open, it will tell you that the face is open, or it'll tell you that it's closed. You get all that. You also get the loft and the lie. So if you've really opened the face up and you've created more loft, it will tell you how much loft is there. Conversely, if you've kind of done a lot of shaft lean and closed the angle down, it will give you all that sort of stuff as well. It also gives you the impact location of where it's going on the face. What I do get is the ball speed. I get the launch angle. I get the side spin, the back spin, and I get the carry distance. Now, I opted, knowing that is the reason I opted to leave out the club data. It has made it cheaper. Not having the club data and having the ball data only version lowers the price significantly. Okay, you can work out largely what the club path is and if the face is open or closed or anything like that with the ball data. If you've got side spin to the left of 1,000 revolutions and you've got a side angle launch going that way, then you know that you've got a closed face and you have swung to the left. That's the only way that's going to happen. So although it's good to kind of get it backed up and see the club data for where I'm at and for what I need and for the price and all those kind of considerations, I can leave that for now. So yeah, the data that I have is the ball data. I don't have the club data, okay? One other thing to say about the data, this thing is really good as well. Another selling point, it does let you putt. It does measure your putting. Not in-depth putting analysis like the GC Quad. You know, it gives you minimal amount, like it will give you the club speed and it will give you the launch and the kind of, if you hit it left or right, that's kind of enough for me. Again, I don't need much more than that, so I'm happy with that. But it's a good extra bonus that I can practice putting. I even had it wired up to my TV the other day and was practicing putting indoors. That's about the only thing I can do indoors with this. So that's something else to bear in mind as well. So let's come back round to cost before we just finish off with a couple of the negatives of this. So we already know that this is the ball data only version. Okay, so this straight away is not going to be near the £10,000 mark. The other thing I've done here is, you know, looking at the website now, the Foresight website, you know, it says it's £7,788 including VAT. That is, they do two packages here, I should say. They do the Essentials Plus bundle and they do the Players Plus bundle, okay? So if you get the Players Plus bundle, which is, these are software based, okay? That one knocks this up to £11,148, okay? So the only difference between the two, so that we're clear on this, is the amount of courses you get, okay? So this is for, I should say, and this is where I've been slightly confused by their website and the marketing between the EU and the US website, because on the EU one, it talks about the fact that you get FSX Play, you get FSX 2020, you get the launch monitor itself. Weirdly, it doesn't say anything about Awesome Golf, which is strange, but you do get Awesome Golf as well on both of these options. Obviously, you get a warranty, you get a power cable, USB, all that sort of things. You do get an alignment stick because you can use that to align this, even though you don't really need to use it. You get club markers as well for if you've got the club data, you can put a little sticker. You get a sticker on the face, so it measures up all of those things. If you don't use the sticker, it will just give you the ball data. Anyway, so you get all that sort of stuff, but it says in terms of what's standard, you get the monitor, you get FSX Play, you get FSX 2020, it's listed down here, and then you get 25 courses. This is for both of these different bundles, the Essential and the Players bundle. Those 25 courses are just kind of some random courses. I've heard of a few of them, but they are real courses, but just ones you, unless you live next to them, you've probably not played them. They're mostly US courses as well, I will say. However, for the extra nearly £4,000 or whatever it is, on top of that, you get 10 extra courses. So if you think it's worth all those extra courses, then that's going to cost you an extra £3,000 or £4,000. Surprisingly, I didn't go for that. So the Essentials Plus bundle is just all of that minus those premium courses. Okay, each course is about between £250 to £500 in dollars. You can kind of work out what that is. So they're not cheap, the courses, if you want to buy extra courses. Again, throughout the year they do promotions. All the software is based as a purchasable from the US website, so it all goes through there. I should also say you get Foresight Fairgrounds, which is like kind of a fun kids set of challenges and games. You get that on both of these as well. You also get all the standard stuff in FSX Play, like the practice mode. You get the kind of FSX skills where you are trying to get it within a certain distance of points. You've probably seen people like Peter Finch playing that, or if you've looked at any of my videos, me trying to do that. Anyway, so if you're looking at the Essentials one, which is the cheaper software of the two, it brings it down to £7,788. That's for the ball and the club data. But if you go for the ball only version, then it strips out nearly £2,000 less from that. So now we're looking at about £5,500. £5,500 is still too much for me. When I'm thinking, and when I was looking at the new Garmin thing that came out, which looks awesome, by the way. And I've been looking at some of the other ones. In my mind, I was thinking, oh, I'd really like to spend £2,000 or £3,000. And obviously I looked at the FlightScope Movo Plus, and I nearly went down that route. But by the time I did the extra add-ons to get it to what I wanted to do, I was looking at about £3,000, even with offers. So I kind of inquired about this, and then I let it come and go and thought, I just can't spend £5,500 on it. It's too much. Even on a credit card, I'm not doing it. I love my golf and I want to get better, but I just can't justify that, even for the content for YouTube. So I left it. And then I was contacted about Black Friday deals, and there were options for the full unit, which had some money off it, but it was still going to be too expensive. There was option for a second-hand unit, but it wasn't that much cheaper comparatively, so I didn't think much of that either. But then there was the offer for the ball-only version, discounted below the normal version, which I didn't even know existed. I didn't know there was a ball-only version. On the EU site, it doesn't really make much of a deal about it. It's not really marketed or talked about on the website, but it is on the US website. So on this option, because it was discounted because of Black Friday, it brought the price down quite a lot, but not enough still. I think it brought it down to in the region of just under 4,000, something like that. Still too much for me. But here's the trick. When you inquire through their sales form, and I don't know if this is the same on the US website, but when you inquire on the sales form, you will get someone contact you about it, okay? If you're like me, there's a really nice chap. I won't tell you his name because I don't know if I'm allowed to say his name, but anyway. And they'll be really helpful, and they'll tell you everything you need to know about it. And then if you don't buy, some time will go by, and then what I can only presume is an automated email will come through to you. And this email will say, blah, 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 blah. It'll say quite a lot. It's quite a long email. And then it will say, we'd like some feedback. I don't know if they really do want feedback or not, but it will say, we've got any feedback about your experience. And if you have changed your mind and you do want to purchase this, whatever quote you've been given, we'll do it for you for 10% less. So that's where I kind of thought, oh, hang on a minute, Black Friday deal, it's already less. It's the ball only version, which makes it less still. And now you're going to do it 10% off. That might be near to my kind of number where I'm thinking, or not a million miles away from it. So that brought it down even more. So now instead of me, starting off, if you look at the whole thing, everything with all the kind of extras on top, we've gone from 11,000, we're talking about in the 3,000s. So something that was £11,000 is now only in the 3,000s. Like I say, I've put this on a credit card because I still don't have £3,000 or £4,000 to spend on something, but that now is far cheaper and far more affordable for so many people. Like you've seen, I've got a net and I've got kind of this makeshift thing outside. I've got options on my golf course and the ranges near me, but I wanted something that was really accurate. I wanted something that was industry standard, the gold standard. I think even say themselves that it's the gold standard. And now all of a sudden, because of this kind of trick, it's within reach for me. And that's why that was the last stumbling block for me. I've tried this before. I know it's good. I just didn't want to spend that much money on it because I don't think it's that good that it warrants £10,000 or £11,000. Never just buy things at the top price. This is what I tell anybody about anything. When you're buying things, why pay the top price? The best price is never the best price. They always go lower. And I bet I probably paid a bit more than I should have for it. I bet I could still have got it a bit cheaper. But anyway, negatives. Let's talk about negatives because nothing in this world is perfect. What is wrong with this device, the Foresight GC3? Well, I've already kind of alluded to it. Connectivity is a pain in the backside. Now I know about FSX Pro and the issues with that. Great, I know how to fix that, but there is nothing documented about that. And I bet if I contacted customer support, they would not have had a clue about that. That was a really weird thing. In general, Wi-Fi connectivity is a bit of a pain. Like I've had to several times tap on the screen and try and get the password in for my Wi-Fi and it's not worked. Connecting to Awesome Golf is better than Pro, but still a bit of a pain. So connectivity is definitely not ideal, but I don't think it's ideal on any of the devices that are out there. I think it's fine if you're indoors and you're connecting one time and you never move it, then it's fine. But when you're moving it around and it is a portable device, then it can be a little bit of a pain. FSX Pro, I've already kind of said itself, the software, the data's great. It doesn't look the best. It's a bit, I don't know, it's just not as glossy as Play on a computer. It's not going to be, it doesn't have the same graphical capabilities, but not so great. And obviously the connectivity with it is a bit painful. Setting up the tags and things, like if I was testing different balls for a video or just for fun, isn't that straightforward as easy, so that's a bit of a pain. So one other negative, the battery doesn't seem to last forever. Again, it kind of alludes in the documentation that it is designed to be plugged in constantly to its power pack, even though one of the selling points is that it is portable. You can pick it up and take it outside and to the range and on the course, etc. So that's worth bearing in mind. If you're using it for hours and hours, it will run out. You have to be careful about discharging the battery and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, the last negative, and it's not really a negative, is being brave with your use of it. This is nothing to do with the unit, and this is applicable to all launch monitors, I would say. But just what I mean by being brave, I mean taking it to a range and taking it to a course and using it, because it's not something you see very often. I do feel a bit of a turkey sometimes, kind of taking it out of my bag, putting it down on the range. I've not had anyone give me any weird looks yet, but I've not used it that many times. And that's a more me thing. Like, other people won't care, they'll just plonk it down. But I think you need to be a little bit brave with these things and, you know, not be afraid to actually take it out and use it. But that could be a barrier to you using it. You might kind of feel inhibited and not want to use it as much publicly. But that's fine. You know, we can get over that. I can get over that. Just need to be a bit braver about it. Anyway, so there we go. Foresight GC3. Like I said, the GC3 is awesome. I'm really glad I bought it. There's a few little niggles in terms of the connectivity to the iPad and the computer, and the kind of the FSX 2020 thing that I'm talking to Foresight about. But other than that, I just think with the lifetime software you get with Awesome Golf, literally anyone can have access to this as long as you've got a net in your garden. And that's the whole thing for me. I don't have an indoor space. I just have my garden. And I have the use of a range and I have a use of a golf course. You have Awesome Golf on this, so you can get some really good software use out of it. And even if you don't, just being able to plonk it down for a quick session gives you all the core numbers that you need to see where you're at. And with what I've told you about the cost, being able to get it down, you know, from the nearly looking at £11,500 for all of the course software, down to all of its core functionality with ball data, to just in the kind of £3,000, bit more than that, but we're talking about 3,000s rather than the 4,000s. That's such a huge discount, and that makes it so much more accessible to so many people that for me, it's just a no-brainer. I've tried all the kind of cheaper ones, you know, this is kind of the cheapest thing you can get, about £200. And I've been on the more expensive ones as well. And this does as good a job as a £25,000 one, but so much more of a better job than the ones that are £200, £300, £400, £500. So for me, it's a win. I really hope that what I've talked about in this video has helped you and helped make your mind up one way or the other. Honestly, if you haven't tried one, try one. But if you are questioning still, oh, I don't know, should I buy one or should I not buy one of these Foresight GC3s, then I don't think you'll regret it at all. I'm really pleased, and I take ages to buy stuff, so I really hope that that's helped you. If you did like the video, if it has helped you, then obviously hit the thumb, give me a like, and if you want to keep updated about any future videos, and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and then whenever there's new videos out, you'll be notified about it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.